So we're really happy to be joined by Erica this evening. She is a facial master everything of Eve Lom, and she's going to be talking to us about how to transition your skincare from summer to autumn and what changes you can expect to see in your skin. And hopefully you've got your goodie bag of lovely Eve Lom products with you. I've got mine here, so I'm really looking forward to having a go with those. And I will hand over to Erica now.
Thank you, Melanie. Hello, everybody. My name is Erica MacCallum. I am the international trainer and master esthetician or master facialist at Eve Lom. I'm delighted to be with you all today. I've been thinking about this all day, whether I should slightly change the subject because we've had beautiful sunshine here today and it feels very strange to be talking about transitioning into winter skincare. But I know that for me personally, it's always a complete nightmare when the changes happen in the weather. So we're going to go on with that story for you today. I hope you all do have your goodie bags today. I will be talking through the products that you've got and how to use them, how to do a facial at home, how to incorporate them into your current routine, or how to create a signature routine with just those products. I am here to answer any questions you have, and I will allow some time at the end. But if you would like to use the chat function, please do feel free to pop any questions you have, whether it's skincare related, whether it's very specific to Eve Lom, anything goes. As I've said, my name is Erica MacCallum, and I have been with Eve Lom for approximately 5 years now. I hope lots of you are familiar with Eve Lom, the brand, but just to give you a little bit of information about who we are. Eve Lom is a growing global luxury skincare brand. We've been around for somewhere between 30 and 35 years, and we were founded by a lady called Eve Lom, who was quite a well-known facialist. And she created the brand out of essentially a need for her clients who were leaving her facials for them to have the right products to use at home. The skincare market did not look like it does now 35 years ago. It was a little bit more primitive, and Eve really wanted to create something special that would really work on her clients' skin. Eve is still alive now. She is retired, so she's no longer a part of the brand, but we have stayed true to all of the brand heritage that Eve has left us, if you like, her legacy. So as a brand, we are all about the science of hydration. Hydration is the biggest challenge a lot of us are facing in terms of our skin health, and I will get onto that a little bit more detail in a moment. Other things that are really important to us at Eve Lom is offering a ritual that is luxurious. We want you to feel that no matter how simple or how complicated your skincare routine, you still feel like it is a special moment for you to take time out from your day for you. And that can be an incredibly complicated routine, or it can just be cleansing and moisturizing. There's no shame in either one. It's completely personal choice. It depends on time and energy for lots of us, and also obviously our skin needs. Other things that are important to us at Eve Lom include the fact that we are free from harmful additives. We don't use any sulfates, so no foaming agents in our products, and we avoid some of the preservatives that we have discovered obviously that are less than great for us, including things like parabens, and we don't use any phthalates either. Another thing you won't find in an Eve Lom product is a synthetic fragrance. We use botanical oils in very small percentages, and that's it. Anything else would just be a byproduct of the ingredients that are already in the products. So Eve Lom, the brand, was founded by Eve Lom, and her story and the brand story all began with one product. And if you've heard of Eve Lom at all, I'm sure you've heard of this product. That is the original Eve Lom cleansing balm. You have this one with the travel size cloth in your set. So it's this little pot here. When you open this jar, you're going to really get that heady scent of the balm. It's eucalyptus, it's hops, it's clove, and it's Egyptian chamomile. It really smells like a European spa. Other products we've given you, you've got the rescue mask. This one you will smell camphor in this one, which is phenomenal for helping with puffiness to the skin and inflammation. Always make sure you give this one a really good shake before you use it. You've also got your Dynaspot. This is a full-size product. This one is for treatment of blemishes. We've got the moisture mask. This is actually a new formulation of the moisture mask. Our moisture mask has been around for a long time, but we have just updated the formula. It's now vegan and it gives even longer lasting hydration results. We've also got for you the Kiss Mix, which is an absolute lifesaver. This one can be used as a lip mask. Oops, I didn't throw it across the desk. Or you can use it throughout the day as a sheer lip balm. You also have in front of you, hopefully, a moisture cream. This is a beautifully plumping, long-lasting, hydrating moisture cream that is ideal for use in the colder weather. So I've told you a little bit about Eve Lom. I've showed you a brief overview of the products that you have in front of you. Now onto the subject matter of how we take care of our skin and the changes we can see in our skin as temperatures change. Now, obviously you can sort of flip this when it goes from winter and spring into summer, and you can get some ideas of how you can take care of your skin at that point, but that transition tends to be less problematic. As we go into the colder weather, you will actually find that there is less moisture in the air. Cold air can't retain as much moisture as hot air, so you will find that the environment around us feels incredibly dry, and you notice that kind of happening. In the UK, we tend to notice it quite gradually. I don't know about you guys, but I tend to find that there'll be one particular day where I'll step outside and it feels like there's a kind of force field of cold, dry air around me. So that's the first thing. As soon as that moisture around us leaves and the air around us is much more dry, what's going to happen is that your skin will not have access to as much moisture. The other thing that's going to happen is the hydrators that are naturally present in our skin. So hyaluronic acid is naturally present in your skin. The problem is that it will always leave to the nearest, driest environment. And when that weather gets cold, when there's no moisture in the air, any of the natural hydrators that are sitting in your skin are essentially going to evaporate into that cold air around you. That's why it's important that we put hydrating ingredients back into our skin, but that we're also using effective delivery methods, and we're also using ingredients that are locking in that moisture, so preventing that future moisture loss. So that's the first thing. The cold air tends to be the biggest issue. The next thing we have to accommodate for is that when you get those kind of wild winds, or if you get that really kind of biting cold, freezing rain, those can do their own damage. So if you've got really, really cold air around you, so there's no moisture, one of the things that's going to happen is your skin's natural barrier, the natural barrier that sits under our skin that protects us, that works like a fighting force, that can actually break down a little bit. Now, it's not the end of the world, it repairs quite easily, but the trouble is when that starts to break down, you can find you get patches of sensitivity. So there are lots and lots of people who don't have sensitive skin for 9-10 months of the year, but for 2 to 3 months of the year they find they get very, very sensitive, quite sore skin. You can even notice some more redness. Sometimes there's even some damage to the skin surface. It almost looks like you have something like a psoriasis or a dermatitis or an eczema. You don't necessarily have that. It can just be that your natural barrier function is deteriorated. Now, as I've said, it does repair itself. So that's when it's really important to make sure that we're hydrating our skin really, really thoroughly. You'll also find sometimes when you use your skincare products, they can feel a little bit more tingly than they normally would. Now, my kind of rule with skincare is tingly is fine. If you feel a sensation when you apply your products, that's completely normal. If it's uncomfortable, if it's stinging, particularly if it's something you've used before and that's not been the case, you should stop using it. Give it a little while, use something a little bit more simple on your skin and build up to using what you were using before. And if you're still having that reaction, then you should stop using it. Pain is not good. We don't want pain when we're applying our skincare. So as I've said, cold air, biting winds, any of those things can affect our skin. We've always got to remember that when we're going into the colder weather, we really, really need to maintain that hydration. Now, when we're putting hydration back into the skin, there are plenty of ingredients that will rehydrate our skin. It's very, very easy to do. What is also important is that extra layer. So the extra ingredients that are going to lock in moisture, prevent future moisture loss. Products that hydrate, things like hyaluronic acid, sodium hyaluronate, those are really good hydrators. Often ingredients like seaweed will hydrate your skin. There are thousands and thousands of hydrators. I cannot possibly list every ingredient, but those kind of ingredients are going to really plump up your skin and boost that hydration. You also want to look at making sure that your products are giving you that long-lasting hydration, whether that's through results driven by, for example, user trial results or clinical trials, or also you want to look at the kind of ingredients and the conversation that's happening around that product. If it's got a single ingredient in it, that's probably not doing everything you need it to. We like a little bit of multitasking, particularly for us at Eve Lom. So without further ado, I'm going to start talking about how we can use our products that you guys have and how it's going to build a routine for you. You might find as I'm talking through these products, there are a couple in particular that you really feel would make a huge difference to your routine. That's completely appropriate and completely normal. All Eve Lom products can be mixed and matched with any other products that you're using, either from Eve Lom or from a different range. You might also find you just want to stick to all of the products that you've used today. I can certainly recommend that. We're going to start with the original Eve Lom cleanser. As I've said, if you have any questions at all, please do feel free to add it into the chat. If you've tried the cleanser, you will know that this is the ultimate multitasking product. Your Eve Lom original cleanser is your makeup remover, it's your cleanser. It will soften and soothe your skin. So if it is feeling more sensitive in the colder weather, if you're prone to redness and irritation, it's going to really, really help to calm that down. It's got an amazing scent in here, which is the Egyptian chamomile, eucalyptus, hops and clove. When you first smell it, it is quite powerful. But when you massage it into your skin, it is a lot more subtle. When you're massaging this in, you want to make sure that your face is dry and your hands are dry. You can have a complete full face of makeup. I have created videos in the past with a full face of Halloween makeup and removed every single trace with just this cleanser in a normal size amount. So it really is incredibly effective. The other thing about this cleanser is you should always receive it with this cloth. Now, with the 20 ml, you should get the travel size cloth, which we call the quarter cloth, so that's this size, still plenty big enough for the whole face. If you were to buy a larger size, you would then get the half size and then you'd get the full size cloth, depending on which size you bought. These cloths are 100% cotton, so you can wash them in the washing machine on a cotton's wash. I recommend do not use fabric softener and do not put in the tumble dryer. The reason for that is because with the cloth, this will exfoliate your skin. The cloth is going to buff your skin smooth. It's going to remove every trace of this cleanser and it's going to leave your skin feeling super soft and super smooth. Once you've massaged the cleanser in really thoroughly, I then recommend doing a little bit of a facial massage, okay? So I'm going to first of all demonstrate the cleanser onto my hand. Then I'm going to demonstrate the cleansing massage on my face. So when you're using this cleanser, you only need a tiny amount and you're going to massage it in quite thoroughly. If you've used a cleansing balm before, the thing you're going to notice about the Eve Lom cleansing balm is it is quite heavy, it's quite rich in texture and it goes quite oily. Now that is a good thing. That is what is softening and soothing your skin. Also, this cleanser will give you up to 12 hours of hydration, and that's a clinically proven hydration claim. So from the very first step, you're never stripping your skin, you're always just hydrating it, nourishing it, and softening it. So we're going to massage in really, really thoroughly, and that oily texture is going to pick up all traces of makeup. It's going to really pick up anything that's kind of sitting in the surface of your pores. So it's going to lift any kind of dirt, anything that's any debris from the day. The other thing about this to remember is that oil breaks down oil better than anything else. So if you are prone to an oily skin, this cleanser is still for you too, all right? It also shows vast improvements to blackheads and breakouts when you're using this, but it does that through softening the skin. This cleanser very much works with your skin. It's not trying to fight any natural functions. So once you've massaged it in really, really thoroughly, you can obviously just rub it all over the face in quite a generalized massage. That's absolutely fine and that's going to be effective. However, there is a little bit of an extra massage that you can do. It's one that I always use in my facials. It's certainly one that I use on myself because it's very, very good at helping with lymphatic drainage. So taking down any puffiness in the skin. So I'm always prone to puffiness. You can pretty much get indentations in my face, certainly for the first half of the day, and my eyes are always particularly bad. So I really like this massage routine. It's super gentle. So you want a very, very light pressure. If you're looking to stimulate blood circulation, have a massive effect on lines and wrinkles, that's when you want to be doing your firmer pressures. But when you want to get rid of puffiness in the skin, a very, very light pressure is really important because your lymphatic drainage system sits very, very close to the skin surface, and a light tickling motion should be plenty. So with lymphatic drainage, we're always working from the center down and out, okay? We don't have the advantage of something like a heart, which is pumping blood around. With the lymphatic drainage system, it's a series of valves that gently push and flow, okay? So that's why we're going gently, and that's why we're always working from the center out and down. We're working downwards. So the very first movement is probably one of my favorites. You're going to come behind your ear and find the base of your skull. If you're ever prone to tension headaches, you spend a lot of time at a screen, you're going to really like this movement. Very, very gentle circles just behind the ear. And then you're going to drain down the neck and do a light pressure at the clavicle. Okay, and you can do this on both sides at the same time. So gentle circles, sliding down, and a light pressure at the collarbone. You're then going to come into the center of the forehead, and you're going to do what I call a stepping pressure. So again, with a very light pressure, we're going to gently indent at the center of the forehead and step outwards in gentle motions. Going to come to the temples, and then you're going to lift off. From the center of the nose, you're going to very gently push inwards, and then you're going to work underneath the eyes. Now, you can do each movement once, or you can do each movement 1,000 times. It's not going to do you any harm, it's only going to do you good the more you do it. I won't repeat every movement 3 times because I'll sort of send myself into a bit of a hypnosis and I'll fall asleep on you, which would never be good. I have to be honest, around my eye area, I repeat this at least 3 times in the morning because I do get, as I've said, very, very puffy, and my eyes are always the worst place. The next movement is going to be coming underneath the cheekbones. So you're going to go underneath the cheekbones and you're going to push in. Remember, we're not going to be working upwards. And then we're going to move backwards towards our ears. We're then going to come to the lips. So the best way to think about the lips is you're going to push your lips into a pout, first from above and then from below. Remember, when it comes to massage, the sillier you look, the better it probably is for you. So you're just going to push your lips into a trout pout and then from below. And then the next movement is going to be working along the jawline. You're going to make a fist, as you're doing thumb wars. And then you're going to push your knuckle underneath your chin. And then with your thumb, you're going to lightly press down. And then you're going to work all the way along. Again, quite gently. My one caveat, the movement I always add in, because that's it, that's all the massage is, it's very, very simple, is I usually take my knuckles and I do a little bit of work along my jawline. I really, really clench my jaw and grind my teeth at night. So I find that I carry lots and lots of tension here. So I always add in that movement at the end. So once you've done that with your cleanser, you're then going to take your muslin cloth. Now remember, we want to keep this cloth feeling slightly rough. You can wash it in the washing machine every 2 to 3 times you cleanse. And remember, don't tumble dry and don't use any fabric softener. You want that rough texture. So I'm going to fold the cloth over. It's in warm water. You can put this into as hot water as you can stand. You're going to hold it over the skin, take some nice deep breaths. So that's going to get you to really inhale those botanical oils of Egyptian chamomile, eucalyptus and clove. And then you're going to start buffing this off. Do not be gentle. You want to be quite vigorous. Remember, we want to get that buffing motion and exfoliating our skin. The other thing that's important to remember is as you're doing this, you're actually increasing the blood circulation to the skin surface, which means more nutrients to the skin surface, which means faster healing, and the skin is all around going to be in better condition. So the skin will be left looking cleansed, glowing and hydrated. But you also need to remember that you need the cloth to remove all traces of the cleanser because you want that rough texture. If you were to try and rinse it off with just water, or you were to try and use damp cotton wool pads, you'd be left with a residue and you wouldn't get the same benefits. you really need to use the cloth with it. So you can see my skin looks really glowing, really healthy. And once you've removed it, you can remove it once, twice or 3 times with the cloth in hot water. I then always recommend taking your cloth, putting it into cold water, as cold as you can stand. I know it sounds torturous. I know we're talking about cold weather and it seems awful. However, this is an old facialist trick. At the end of a facial, we'll quite frequently put our hands into really, really cold water and do a cold compress on somebody's skin. It's because there's an old wives' tale that it helps to close up pores. That's not true. It will give an immediate lifting and brightening effect to the skin. It's not necessarily going to last a long time. It's just cold water, but it is going to really, really help to give you that immediate glow. The other thing it's really good for is if you are prone to redness, using cold on your skin will help cool it down. I'm not talking about throwing ice water on your hands. I'm talking about as cold water as you can stand from the tap, and that will make a really big difference. So what you can then do is just do a cool compress. Now, sadly, I've only got one bowl of water here, so it's sort of lukewarm. But when you do that with cold water, you will find that the skin just looks really, really glowing, and any redness is immediately taken down. So once we've cleansed our skin, our normal skincare routine would be cleanse and moisturize, because with Eve Lom cleansers, you do not have to tone. Your pH is left perfectly balanced. We do have a toner in our rescue collection that's specifically targeting pore size and kind of excess oil production. But the reason why we talk so much at Eve Lom about having that simple routine if you want it is because particularly when we are stressed, or when we're in really cold weather, or when there's anything that's compromising our skin's barrier, making our skin a little bit more sensitive, adding in lots of new products at any time, tempting though it is with our skincare, it can mean that you're more prone to reactions, or you might find you react to something and you don't know which product it was that you reacted to. So I really love the combination of the original cleanser and the moisture cream, which is the moisturizer with the gold lid. You don't need to use very much of the moisture cream. It's super effective on its own. It's got a velvety texture. It melts into the skin really easily, and you will also find with this one, it will give you up to 72 hours of hydration. Again, that's a clinically proven claim. Now, this is particularly lovely to use throughout the winter because it maintains that long-term hydration. You're not going to lose moisture from your skin easily. It's got a beautiful form of hyaluronic acid in here called Primal Hyal Ultra Filler, which actively plumps up the skin. So the skin feels smoother, softer, and looks more healthy. You also have a boost to radiance. So this product did show boost to luminosity improvement in the skin, and you will be able to see as soon as I've applied that you get that lovely glass glow to your skin. It looks really healthy, but skin looks perfected. And that plumping Primal Hyal Ultra Filler is super helpful for that. It means makeup glides on and the skin looks fabulous. It's also really good to use on the neck and décolleté. It's very easy to forget this area when we are applying our skincare, but do remember that this area will actually age faster than your face. So do make sure that we're adding in the moisturizer across the décolleté and up the neck, and really work it into the neck. It does make a huge difference. So that is your simple routine, just cleansing and moisturizing. The other products you have are how you can extend your routine depending on your concerns. So the first product I'm going to talk to is the Rescue Mask and the Moisture Mask. Now, as you would expect, both of these are face masks. Both of these should be used 2 to 3 times a week for maximum benefits, but you can equally use them once a week, give yourself a little bit of a facial. Now, I would recommend using the Rescue Mask as a deep cleansing mask. What's so special about this one though is it's got kaolin clay and it's also got honey. So that means that it not only draws out excess oil from the skin, it also brightens the skin. You also get up to 72 hours of hydration from using this mask, even though it's a clay mask. Okay, now it's got camphor in it, so again it's brilliant if you have inflammation or puffiness. It is great if you do have breakouts, whether there's a hormonal, whether there's a caused by maskne, but it's also a fantastic leveler for the complexion. What I mean by that is if you apply this to a cleansed dry skin, leave it on for about 10 to 15 minutes, let it dry down, and then you rinse it off, your skin will look brighter, it will look more healthy, it will be hydrated. It is fantastic for a stressed skin. And I'm not just talking about stress breakouts, I'm also talking about irritation that happens in the skin. I'm talking about little areas of puffiness that happen in the skin. Areas of sensitivity can be improved. The other thing that's so lovely about this mask is because of the camphor, which if you're not sure what camphor smells like, it's Vicks Vapor Rub. Vicks Vapor Rub smells of camphor. So it's incredibly cleansing, which is really nice in winter as well. You get this lovely inhalation moment. The other thing that's lovely about this mask is it stays cool on your skin, okay? I know when we're talking about going into winter, you're thinking, oh, I just want warm things. But actually in winter, when we're finding we're getting an increased sensitivity or a little bit of stress reaction in our skin, making sure that we're cooling our skin is really, really important. Too much heat in your skin will mean you get more inflammation, the skin will be redder, and you can get more damage, okay? So we're going to then buff this off. Usually you would obviously let it dry completely, and then you're going to be left with a perfect finish to your skin. So after that mask, after you've used a deep cleansing mask, it is a great time to use any product because it's going to absorb better. So you could moisturize immediately after that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the moisture mask. This is a new formulation for us. So we took the basis of our old moisture mask and we improved it. The texture is improved. It's a globally compliant formula and it will keep your skin hydrated for up to 72 hours. Now this one is quite a sheer mask. So one day when the world has changed, this is fantastic to take with you on an aeroplane. Those of you who are flying now, fantastic. But for those of us who are waiting a little bit longer, this is a fantastic product to bear in mind. You will get up to 72 hours of hydration if you just leave this product onto your skin and allow it to absorb. You can see why I say it's great on a plane because you can't even see it really. It just looks really, really sheer. This one will absorb really quickly into your skin. You can use it as an overnight treatment or as a night cream. So you can just apply it in a thin layer, go to sleep and let it absorb completely. In the morning, you just rinse your face as normal and remove any residue that might be left. I've never found any residue on my skin. Mine's pretty dry. And with this one, we're just going to let it absorb. If you are a big fan of using a facial massage tool, for example, like a quartz squasher or a roller or anything of that nature, this is a fantastic product to use as your massage medium because it's got that lovely slip and glide. So you're not going to feel like you're pulling on your skin. There's not going to be that taut, uncomfortable feeling. This will be beautiful to work with. So this is your moisture mask. You can use it as a night cream. You can use it as an immediate hit. You could do a double mask routine. So you could use the rescue mask and then the moisture mask. But bear in mind the moisture mask, if you're finding you're out and about in the winter when it really hits and you get that horrible taut feeling to your skin, this one is going to be super helpful. There's ingredients in here like red seaweed, you've got sodium hyaluronate in here, you've got black oats and lecithin complex. So the skin is left super hydrated, super soft and super smoothed. So its primary function is a hydrating mask, but it's also going to soften and soothe your skin at the same time. So that's our two masks. Now the other products you guys have to try are the Kiss Mix and the Dynaspot. Now the Dynaspot is an Eve Lom product that has been around for quite a long time. It is a bit of a staple for lots of us. I certainly have used it in facials for the last 5 years whenever I've done extractions because it's incredibly antibacterial. And it helps to take down any redness and irritation. I'm sure you guys can all guess that in the last year and a half, this Dynaspot has done particularly well, where we've all been wearing face coverings and the dreaded mask me has become a real issue. The Dynaspot has zinc oxide and salicylic acid. So salicylic acid is your BHA. It's fantastic for helping to heal up inflammation. So it's great on breakouts. It's also antibacterial and it's incredibly good for calming everything down. You've got zinc oxide in here, which essentially is the ingredient you'll find in a lot of spot treatments that's actually working to dry up anything that is kind of sitting under the skin. So if you've got a pustule or a papule, this is really, really good for treating those. Other ingredients in here include tea tree. You also have yarrow and chamomile. Now, if you've used a spot treatment before with salicylic acid and zinc oxide, quick heads up, they don't usually smell very good. They're usually a bit sulfuric. in scent. Whereas because we've got the tea tree, this smells incredibly refreshing, incredibly invigorating. Yarrow is in there as well, and you can pick up on that, as well as the chamomile. Very, very calming, very soothing, both of those ingredients. So we are massively healing up any blemishes. It's also antibacterial, so it will help if you've got blackheads as well. It's not just for an under the skin pupule. And one of my absolute favorite things about this product is that it has that ophthalmic nozzle. This is great for hygienic application. If you have a breakout or a spot on your face, you do not want to be touching it with hands that aren't super clean. You can take this with you anywhere you go. It's a pale pink paste. Always, again, shake it because the water can sometimes separate in your product tubes. And when you use this, it's a pale pink color, so it actually conceals really easily. If you wanted to apply this underneath your makeup, you can. You just need to allow it to dry completely, and then you can conceal on top. This one, you can see that's more than enough. So you can really spread it out. The other thing about this one is you can also take it with you. If you're wearing a face covering on a journey somewhere, you can actually apply it and reapply it on top of your makeup, and it will still be super helpful. It's an amazing product, the Dynaspot, and I can't recommend it enough. The other thing to note, as you can probably guess, hydration is super important to us at Eve Lom. Even our spot treatment will maintain hydration for up to 72 hours, and that's clinically proven. So all in all of these products will continue to hydrate your skin every time you use them, no matter their initial function. Does anyone have any questions at all about any of the products or anything related to their skincare? Any questions at all? You can unmute if you prefer. Okay, so when we're talking about changing up our skincare for our changes in weather or changes in our environment, if we have quite a strong, stable routine, for example, your cleanser and your moisture cream, as what I like to call your bookends, so your begin and your end. If you've got your bookended skincare routine, you can then build on that routine. So in the summer, you might just want to use a really light hydration serum, but when you get into winter, you might want to use something richer. You might want to incorporate your moisture mask 2 or 3 times a week. You might find that you really, really want to use a facial oil regularly, and you can add that in to your skincare routine. I recommend using your facial oil before your moisturizer, because when we're talking about how we use our skincare, we should always follow the routine of lightest to heaviest weight. So after you've cleansed, and if you tone after you've toned, you're then going to apply, for example, an essence, which is like a water on your skin. You'd then apply a serum, then an oil, and then your moisturizer. Depending on how your serum and your oil work, I would recommend using your eye cream definitely before your moisturizer, and sometimes before your oil as well. The Radiance face oil we use at Eve Lom actually shows improvement to fine lines and wrinkles around the eyes. So I generally say use that first and then your eye cream on top. So you're getting that layer locking effect. If there aren't any questions, we will wrap up shortly. But in terms of the products that you have in front of you, don't forget to use your cleanser, massaging it thoroughly into your skin. Always remember as well, mindful application of products. So when you are using your skincare, you want to apply whatever the product is to the area that needs it the most first. For example, if you're using a moisturizer, you're going to apply it to the driest area of the face first. When you're cleansing and you're massaging it, you're going to spend a little bit more time on those areas where you do get, for example, congested pores, or you are wearing a heavier makeup. You want the cleanse to be deeper in those areas. The other product you have is the Kiss Mix. The Kiss Mix is a beeswax and peppermint lip balm. So it is incredibly conditioning on the lips. The other thing you can do with this is, if you're like me and your favorite lipstick is, for example, a really matte red, I will often use this as a lip mask. So I will apply it quite liberally whilst I'm doing the rest of my makeup, and then I will blot it off and apply my lipstick to perfectly hydrated and plumped up lips. I hope you guys have found this helpful or informative in some way. If you have any further questions, do get in touch via Get the Gloss, and we will be happy to answer any of your questions.
Thanks so much, Erica. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
I can't wait now to do a massage when I cleanse this evening. I think we'll wrap up now if we haven't got any questions. Everybody on the call, we will send around an email tomorrow with a discount code and a link in case you need to watch any of this back. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and thank you everyone for joining.
We're getting lots of messages in the chat saying thank you. So hopefully it was really helpful. All right, thanks so much. Have a good evening, everyone.
Bye.